Probably a week. This shit's been bad. Very bad. I'm going to deviate from what I was talking about before. And yes, I am in my bathroom, and yes, I am going to be talking low. So I hope you can hear me good. I hope this sounds okay. I'm just having a lot of problems with my landlord. Understatement, I'll get to that hopefully in this video. Sorry, just put the kids to sleep. They're not asleep yet, but they're going to bed. I finally get to just chill. And the reason I'm up in the bathroom is apparently the walls between this side of the house and the other side where the landlord is, my Snuggles and the upstairs neighbor, apparently the walls are paper thin, and they can hear everything we say and do. I don't ever hear them though. Oh yeah, not unless it's 4 in the morning on a Saturday, and they decided to do laundry or whatever it is right behind the wall behind my head, or yeah, my head's right up against the wall in bed, and they're freaking, I guess, I'm assuming it's a laundry room is right behind the wall. I almost put my foot through the wall with that. Are you Snuggles? Hey Tank. I'm not sure if this is getting that low. Excuse me for a second. It's sad when when your stomach is in knots coming home from work, because you just wonder, what the fuck am I dealing with today? I got the door up because if I don't blow it that way, this whole freaking bathroom would be cloudy. I don't think it gets any more raw than this, or humble in the fucking bathroom. But literally, this is the only room where nobody can hear me except the kids behind the wall here. My kids. That's why I'm in here. Because I'm hoping to get to current events. Yeah, all the other views I'm talking about, my childhood, adolescence, growing up, and all that bullshit. But all the shit going on, it's all bad. All bad. It's been bad for almost 6 years now. I'll start out at a good point, pretty much when it all started. I was living with my nephew down in Taylor. I actually like living in Taylor, Pennsylvania. That was a nice town. Nice neighbors too. I got along with them really good. My nephew didn't for some reason. They didn't really like him either. It was just, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that place, other than, my nephew just decided to up and move out one day. I mean, he said he was moving, but he didn't really give much warning. And I basically had. No, I wasn't. I was living with him when freaking he wouldn't. Damn it! Get out of here. He wasn't supporting me, even though I was paying even though I was paying less rent than him. I mean, he offered, for me to move in, pay this amount, so I agreed. But I was working up St. Mike's, or St. Michael's School. I think by then, I'm pretty sure by then it sold, and I was making $12 an hour then. But he moved out. I had till the end of the month. And income tax was coming. And I'm just like, I was just thinking I had two choices. Move back with my mom and my sister, help them out, or move out on my own. Honestly, there wasn't enough time to find. I mean, no, I decided. I mean, I was contemplating it for quite a while. Move back in with my mom and help them out. I'll explain why in a second, but yeah, later on I realized, you know what, I had to take out like 2 or 3 weeks, and I don't think I would have had enough time to find a nice place. So I just decided to move back in with my mom and my sister. What the hell? Was I 29 or 30? I don't want to hear any shit. 30 years old, living with your mom? You know what? That is the biggest bunch of bullshit. Now, if you're 30 years old mooching up, I hate that toilet. Yeah, the camera's on the toilet. That's the only thing in here that's level with me sitting. And I'm sitting next to the door. Little advice for the people, 5 people that watch this? People still haven't even commented whether it's any good or not. I don't know. And I'm not telling anybody I know because I'm not dealing with that shit. But in this day and age, if you're not living at home and having them support you, if you're working and everything else, stay at home as long as possible. Save up as much as you can. Move out by buying your own home, or at least just having like tens of thousands of dollars in savings. Because I tell you, once you get out here, if you don't have a head start and then some, which is why I say stay at home as long as possible. If you don't have a head start, man, it is hard. I'm a freaking mailman, and I mean, it's hard as shit. I mean, we're barely putting food on the table. Freaking shut off notices. But our situation is, I'd say, one of a kind, since freaking I have such bad luck. A statement, not a fucking, some people say, oh, don't think that way, and you might give yourself bad luck, or negativity on that shit. Just stay at home as long as you can, as long as you're fucking actually working and trying to, better your situation. Because you meet a girl and you move out on your own with, going paycheck to paycheck or something like that. Or living beyond your means. And when shit hits the fan, you're going to be struggling or you're going to be screwed. But I moved back with my mom, my sister. Why? Because my mom was getting old. She really couldn't. I mean, they ruined the house they were living in. My grandfather, who died long before I was born, I think it, actually, no, wait, I don't know. Honestly, I forget when the hell my oldest sister, what year she was born. When the hell, because I can't, only she was little when my grandfather died. I just can't think of what year, if it was in the late 60s or early 70s. I'm thinking late 60s when he passed away. He died of black lung from working in the mines. Which was in Plymouth, Pennsylvania, Northeast PA. And he bought a home down there in Plymouth. And I think he worked his ass off and paid it off. Totally off. And like I said, we moved in when I was 15, helped my grandmother out because she couldn't take care of herself anymore. And then I moved back in when my mom, I mean, she could take care of herself, but she just couldn't take care of a lot of stuff around the house because she just ruined the house. And my sister, she had the mind of a 12-year-old, or mind of a child. And what started with her, I think, what the hell was it, like 10 years ago? Or, no, wait. Let's see, 9. Joey's 3.5. 9, 10 years ago, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Never kissed a boy, never went on a date. She was still a virgin. Like I said, she had the mind of a child. She's the most innocent person, innocent adult that I ever, and most innocent person I ever met. Honestly, even children, you know how they say children are innocent, even children behave worse than my sister did. So I moved back in there, and I was working at St. Mike's. And then, just things were getting bad at no. You want to go? Go. Things were just getting bad at home, and things were bad at work. I mean, the new company had no reputation. So they were basically getting the worst out of the worst kids from Philly. And of course, like usual, every night they put the good workers in the worst dorms because the supervisors did not want to deal with any crap. And it just building up. Bull crap. Kids up screaming in the hallways, just carrying on all night until like 4. It's anywhere from between 4 and 5 in the morning. And they had to get up at like 6:30 or 7:30. I think they were up somewhere between 4 and 6. I think they had to get up at between 7 and 7:30 for school. That's how bad it was. And you couldn't restrain any of the kids, no matter what they did, because then you'd have the whole dorm jumping on you. And we didn't have the manpower on third shift to deal with that. You're getting annoying. Get the fuck out. So after 7 years of working there, I just quit. The fucking supervisor gave me shit. He came by here in the morning. Well, he was there helping me out all night, pretty much, dealing with the kids. And so he comes up when it's time to leave and says, "Oh, you're going to have to stay a couple hours in the morning to help out because there's not enough staff." I never straight up refused. I just kept saying every time he said it, I said no. Dog would say no. I mean, he could have just left me there. I mean, you can't walk out because, you know, you got legal, I mean, you would have gotten legal trouble. You can't just up and leave without sufficient staff relieving you. Or even a certain number of staff to a certain number of kids. I think it's what, 1 per 8. I think it was 1 staff per 8 kids. I think that's what it was. I don't know, I don't remember clearly. But he came back after me saying no, and he's like, go, I'll do your work for you like I always do. Between the kids, bullshit, and that, I was like, that was it. I was done. That was my last fucking day there. It's like I had better things to do, like freaking take care of home. Then I just basically, I mean, for the summer, I just basically took a vacation. I mean, it didn't hit the fan at home yet. So I was just riding the motorcycles around, shit like that. Literally just taking the summer off. And yeah, I quit there, and I hate that toilet. I gotta time my shower just to that. Literally, usually as soon as I get done in the shower, that goes off, or fills back up. Because when that happens, it's just like freaking, just like the jail, just like detention center. You flush the toilet and the water goes hot as hell. That's why so if I'm in there, as soon as I hear that, I take the nozzle and I gotta point it away because it gets scalding hot. You see how freaking foggy it is getting in here? But took the summer off, and then my sister had stage 4 breast cancer. That was 4 years before then, and they gave her a 20% chance to survive after all the chemo, and I guess she got her breast cut off, whatever the hell that's called. I wasn't living at home at the time, so I didn't know, you know. I was supportive, but I wasn't living at home, and I wasn't, you know, coming around every day. But she survived. It went into remission. And that was the start. That was way before. That was 4 years before I moved back. I should have brought a towel up with me to shower when I'm done here. And what the hell are you doing, cat? So then in, I think August 2012, my mom got a MRSA infection on her hand from a can of cat food, she said. She went in the hospital for a week, maybe 2. And then she went into a nursing home for another month until it cleared up. Before then, all I had to worry about was myself, financially. I mean, my own bills, my own money, it's all I had to worry about. Other than that, I just, you know, like I said, helping out around the house. because they basically ruined the house. They couldn't mow the lawn anymore or nothing like that. I mean, well, they weren't doing it. My mom was mid-60s, something like that. Yeah, right around, I think, like right mid-60s. No, so that was August. September, she was in a nursing home. December 13th, 2012, she was diagnosed with Huntington's disease, which includes dementia. So I just say that because most people know dementia more than Huntington's disease. Basically, her brain is rotting. I think, is that Huntington's or dementia? Doesn't matter, it's all the same. Well, her, So literally, just like that, it was pretty much from September, because she wasn't. Oh yeah, it was pretty much from September on, just like that, drop of a dime, everything got dumped on my head. All the money, the finances, the bills, the groceries, the cooking, the cleaning, everything just got literally dumped on my head, the drop of a dime. And honestly, I've never had any experience with that much responsibility. I lived on my own. Well, I've never lived alone before. I mean, I've lived, with friends, relatives, girlfriend, but I've never, it's always been shared responsibilities, shopping, cooking, cleaning, bills, everything was always shared. But I mean, well, it's different. I mean, it's just, everything's shared, but you're only really taking care of yourself, You're not worried about the other, I mean, the only thing you're worried about the other person is making sure they pay their half of everything. I mean, you don't go grocery shopping for them, like for them as if they can't themselves. That's basically why I got dropped on my head. I basically had to take care of my mom, my sister in every single way possible. I had to do the cleaning, the cooking, shopping, I mean, everything. I had to budget the money. Well, my head was just fucking spinning like crazy. And then so that was December 13th, 2012, when that was the actual diagnosis. As far as her not being all there, that was pretty much right when she got home from after the MRSA infection. They say Huntington's disease is hereditary. I call bullshit on that. I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to sit here and talk as if I know more than them. I'm just saying it doesn't run in their family. Nobody else has had it. Nobody else has ever had any kind of mental disability, or mental disease, or whatever the hell that is. Or disease, because that's in the word, or in the name. But yeah, pretty much when she got home, that's when, I mean, she just wasn't there anymore. I mean, she was and she wasn't. She was like a really bad stoner, And I remember the last thing she said, she asked me, she's still around, I'm just saying, the last thing she asked me before her marbles pretty much went was, don't put me in a nursing home. And I told her flat out, all you have to do is go to the bathroom and bathe yourself. I don't care how handicapped she is. I ain't gonna freaking help my mom go to the bathroom or bathe. I'll help her get, put her on the toilet and let her, just sit her down there in a row while I sit her down and let her freaking situate herself or shit like that. But, and then, Angela, January 1st, 2013, at about, that was that squeak, was that my voice? Something in my throat, I don't know. It was like 11 or 11:30 at night. I'm up in my room, just sitting there playing a video game. I hear the dogs going ape shit. I come down. As usual, my mom's sitting there on the couch. TV was over here. The couch was long ways facing the couch. Or facing the TV, like TV was here. Like, this is the couch, like, long ways. And it'd be like this. She was sitting just like this. She was literally just sitting there watching TV like this. Fuck you, toilet. I don't care, I'm leaving that in. Like I said, I'm not going all fucking crazy professional on this frickin' thing. Would you leave me alone, cat? It's just me talking. And well, I come downstairs because the dogs are going nuts. There's my sister sitting on her futon, sitting upright, and she got her left arm like this, hunched over, and her right arm, she is flailing it like crazy, like as if her hand's on fire. And I'm like, Angela, what's wrong? What's wrong? I don't know, my stomach hurts. Or said something, I forget what she said, something hurts. And I asked her about her arm. Like, why are you flailing your arm? She's like, I'm not. I mean, she was, but she wasn't consciously doing it. I mean, her arm was moving, but her brain was moving it, but she wasn't, like me, I'm sitting here wanting to move my arm. I could stop anytime I want. She wasn't, whatever the hell that word is. I mean, they're basically, her arm was going crazy. She was just going like this, So I said, okay. I said, calm down. I'll take you to the emergency room. I ran upstairs. I got dressed. I come down. She's in a full-blown seizure. She never had a seizure before. My mom, she's had them all the time because my whole life she's had epilepsy and tickle-a-roo. Most people know what epilepsy is. Tickle-a-roo is, I just know from what she was telling me, it's like mostly in her face, like it basically feels like the nerve endings all in your face are like on fire, burning. She used to freaking, growing up, she used to be screaming bloody freaking murder. So I come down, she's in a full-blown seizure. I'm freaking out. I mean, obviously, the first thing I do, I immediately call 911. And got the ambulance coming. Damn fly. And her lips were turning blue because, she was biting down. So she wasn't breathing because she was biting down in her mouth so freaking hard, and she, wasn't open to breathe. So I was basically doing this. I was just putting a little pressure on her chin to try and open her mouth a little bit. They're on there on the phone telling me not to do that. I mean, I wasn't like, fucking grabbing like this. I mean, I was just, I mean, she was convulsing and everything. Just, it was bad. It was. I mean, most people, a lot of people see that kind of shit, and I'm not saying that. Oh, it's harder when you see a loved one going through something like that, but seeing her go through it because she is basically mentally a child and completely innocent. She never did anything wrong. It's just everything. It's just. So they take her over to ER, the emergency room, and I go down. I pick my dad up. We're a few towns down. Yeah, but it was about a little after 12 a.m. at that time. And go to the emergency room. And we go in the back, and they take her and do X-rays, MRIs, whatever the hell they did. And I could have freaking cut that freaking doctor's head off, literally, if I had something like a sword out of. So obviously she was back in the room with us for a little while. The test came back. Like I said, my sister was the mind of a child. And totally innocent. I'll keep saying that over and over too. You don't like it, tough. But she walks in and my sister starts getting worried. By the way, meanwhile, all this is happening, her going through the seizure, my mom is still just sitting there like this, watching TV, oblivious to everything that's going on. Fine, come on, Symbols. Yeah, all this is happening literally in 3-month period. 3-week period as far as the diagnosis and that happening. So there we are in the urban emergency room. My sister's scared shitless. Like I said, mind of a child. And the doctor comes in and basically said to her, I think the word is metastasized or something like that. It basically, the cancer spread to her brain. And she had, get out of here if you're gonna fart. Fucking, the cat got a stinkier ass than me on fucking tacos. Came back and basically said, yeah, your cancer's back and it's spread to your brain. So that's what the seizure was. Basically, she had tumors on the brain. I will never forget. I mean, I've been through pure terror. Right. Joey's awake. I've been through pure terror before. I've seen it on her face. She said to the doctor, "I'm not gonna die, am I?" Except it wasn't that monotone or low tone like I'm saying it now. I mean, she was scared. But I mean, seeing your family member, like I said, with the mind of a child and being innocent, that is one of the most horrifying memories, heart-wrenching, soul-wrenching. I mean, I can never forget that, because I was standing right there. And then it was after when I, got the doctor in the hall and said, "Don't ever say anything like that to her again." So she's just a freaking child upstairs. I mean, would you tell your freaking little kid of 10, 12 years old, you're gonna freaking die? So of course, no, we shall convince her, no, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna get through this again. And this was, I think, maybe 2 weeks before her 5th or 6th year anniversary since her cancer went into remission. I think it came back, I think, because she wasn't getting proper, frequent checkups. I mean, more frequent. Because, I mean, first she was going like once a month, and then it was once every 3 months. Then way down the road, towards the end, it was like once every 6 months. I don't know, something like that. Oh, my butt. But I mean, that was bad. So then, I forget when. I don't know if it was the next day or days later, she went in for brain surgery. Basically, she got cut open right through her skull, right on this side and this side. I think about that big, something like that. And they took those out, but there was more back here, and they couldn't get to those. But with that, it left the left side of her body temporarily paralyzed. I mean, it was fully paralyzed, but it wasn't permanent. So she went to John Hines Rehabilitation Center in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Really nice people there. They all kick ass. Because I went there frequently to see her and everything and see how her progress was coming along. So she got the brain surgery. She went, she stayed in the hospital for, honestly, I forget how long. And then she went to John Hines Residential for basically until she was back on her feet. And she was walking again and everything. Everything was good. So in the meantime, I am at home taking care of my mother, whose brain's gone to mush. Cooking, cleaning, I mean, now about the house, how bad it got, she had 6 or 7 cats. She had a lot of cats. It started out with 2. They had litter. They had a litter. They gave some away. They kept some more. They just kept inbreeding. There's more and more and more, and they give some away. Some would freaking get out and who knows what. But I mean, the house cats, they'd shit all over. And they had 3 dogs too that they really never let outside either. When they could, they were. I mean, my sister didn't know better. She just, mimicked what my mom did. My mom, she was just lazy. She never let take the dogs out, put them on a chain. You couldn't let them out because they'd run around town like crazy. Well, just the local area, but they did that all the time. Especially on my sister. They waited for her to open the door and they'd freaking run. They'd bum rush her and get out. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to current events like I want to with this yet tonight, because I didn't realize how long it'd take me to explain all this. I'm just going to start videos on, basically from 2012 on. Just basically, like I've been saying in earlier videos about getting to how it gets better, but I mean, it's. Big black spider. I hate spiders. I don't know where the fuck that guy came from. He went back underneath the frickin' sink. I killed your buddy the other day, pal. There's only one thing I hate worse. Only one thing I hate worse than spiders. Centipedes. Just all those legs crawling on you and shit. No! It creeps me the fuck out. But yeah, all the shit going on now, I just want to get into current events. So I'm just thinking from basically from where I started out in this video. From then on is where story-wise it gets good, but it's really no good news at all. There is, but there isn't. Alright, so she's in a rehab center, physical rehabilitation center, and I'm taking care of my mom at home. I'm cleaning up the house the best I could because I was expecting excuse me, I was expecting my sister to come back home. I was doing all I could. I mean, there was freaking always cats there. By then, there wasn't many at all. I think it was 3, and most of them were outside. And then 3 dogs they never let out. Mama had a litter box. I think they filled it once, and they never touched it again. So the cats just kept shitting in it. There was just a mountain of shit in the freaking bathroom. I mean, it was so bad. I mean, I remember the most I spent on garbage stickers was like $120 between cleaning up the house and them not putting stickers on the trash for like frickin' 3 weeks. I think it was like $120 on stickers. The stickers were what, like between $2.50 and $3. So there I am, just trying to fix up the house the best I could for her to be able to come home. And I just kept freaking working on it, and I was making progress. I really was. Yeah, Snuggles and Tank were born in that house. Snuggles here grew up properly though. He was born in the hallway. I didn't really see the mother go feed them too often. It was him and his sister. So I brought them in my room in a box, and I'd keep their mother in the room with us to feed for a few hours at a time, let her out, and bring her back later on. He had a gorgeous sister, a really gorgeous cat. See, Snuggles, here's the tabby cat. Of course, that's the outlaw. It's the fur designed. His sister was, what the hell's that other type of cat? It was tabby and I forget what it was, like spots and different colors and shit. But this cat, it was mostly black. It had some brown. I mean, the color of his sister was, I mean, it was such a gorgeous cat. What the hell are those called? You got tabby cats and something. I can't remember right now. But that one little bastard dog killed her. I guess she was going after food or something of his, and I guess he snipped her and caught her in the neck. I come down, and there's the kitten, laying in the floor in a pool of blood dead. Let's just say that dog became Superman for the length of a room. Because I picked that motherfucker up and I literally chucked him from corner to corner. Trying to kill the cat like that, man. I was so fucking mad. So, yeah, basically just cleaning up the house, paying bills, taking care of family business. Not the family, just, family affairs. All that. And then when my sister was able enough, she went down to, what the hell is that called? She went down to a nursing home where my niece works. My niece is practically insistent to get her down there. Big mistake. So she lived there. And I was taking my dad down all the time and visiting, but luckily he bought a car. Well, I found him a car and he bought it. So then he started going down pretty much every day, taking her out and stuff like that, because I was dealing with just too much stuff at home. Cleaning up and everything else, and, live my own life. And take care of my mom, the house, out riding a motorcycle when I was able to leave my mom alone. Some days I couldn't, some days I could. I mean, she wasn't that far gone yet. I dated around a lot. Not a lot, but I dated around. In that time, I think a few people were bothered by how bad the condition of the house was. It's actually funny. It was the entire house except for my room, because it was my room. I took care of it, and nobody had any influence over anything else or anything in the room. So it was always clean. My mom was a freaking hoarder too. She loved going to the thrift store. She loved going to the thrift store and buying pretty much clothes. I remember my Graham's older. Yeah, she passed away in 2006 or something like that. Yeah, actually, that makes me sad with her too. The last memory I had, last interaction I had with my grandma, I was yelling at her. Not really yelling. I mean, yes and no. I was trying to be motivational. She was at the top of the steps in front of her bedroom. Let me make sure that, yeah, it's still on. And she she wouldn't get up. She wouldn't come downstairs. She was just sitting at the top of the steps. So I was yelling at her. I was like, come on, get up. I can't. So I was just yelling at her. I was like, try, you know? I wasn't being a dick. I was just trying to motivate her. Because she wasn't even trying. So then my mom called the ambulance. They took her to the hospital. And a few days, I think it was like a week or two later, she just passed away in her sleep in the hospital. She was 92. Oh, this tank. I just wonder what that noise was. That. But yeah, I dated around. Seemed like the girls I brought to the house didn't really stick around too long. I mean, me, I knew the situation. Other people, I mean, they either didn't know or didn't care. I mean, you see a dirty home, obviously the first thing people are going to think is you're a scumbag. No. Yes and no. I mean, not me, but my mom. She's basic. She was just lazy. I mean, that house was so beautiful. And she just ruined the whole damn thing. And then, so my sister physically got better. And she just kept going up that mountain, up that hill, just getting better and better and better. Coming around, shit like that. And then I met my wife, which I didn't know at the time. I met her on a dating site. It's funny. I met a few women on that site. I dated a few. Nothing serious. I was always trying. I always wanted a family of my own. I just wanted an old-fashioned family. That's it. I never had one. It's honestly all I ever looked for, just to find that one person and have a family. I mean, I'm not talking jump right in the freaking deep end. Like, that was my intention. I'm just saying, just meet the right one, keep at it, and eventually have a family. But, so I'm on there, and this girl messaged me. I started talking to her. My wife, by the way. So I'm referring to. Who's a good kitty tank? So we're just talking. And one day, I think it was like 11 o'clock at night, something like that. I don't know if we were texting or talking on the phone or on there. And I'm just like, What are you doing, Tank? Or, yeah, the point is, I stopped caring. I didn't give a fuck anymore about, meeting the right one or, like, I was putting so much effort into it. I was just like, fuck it, I don't care. It's like, I just don't care anymore. It's like I was having no freaking luck at all. And even making a good friend, Fuck you, toilet. How professional is that? Do I look professional to you? You want me to be professional? Well, I need enough views and subscribers to pay me enough to be professional. Till then, what you see is what you get. So, that's it. But, so I talked to her, I messaged her. Not that, yeah, like I said, I just stopped giving a shit. And I always had like a 4 or 5 year rule. I never bothered with anybody that was, 4 year rule. I never bothered with anybody that was 4 years younger or 4 years older. I mean, obviously when I was, like around 20, I didn't go out with anybody 4 years younger. But she... Wow. So I don't even think about it anymore. My wife is 9 years younger than me. Because like I said, I just stopped caring. I was just like, fuck it. 9 years younger. Damn. I was 31, she was 23? Or 22? I forget. I was 30 and she was 20. So much shit's happened. Little details. My brain is... If my brain's a processor, it's been freaking overclocked and burnt to shit. That's how much freaking crap I've been dealing with, and which why I've been saying on here. Responsibilities, getting everything dumped on my head. Stupid cat. I mean, honestly, my brain is fried. Not even on drugs either, because that would be probably better. I would at least had a good time before my brain went overload. So I messaged, we're talking, and I'm just like, fuck it, you want me to come down? I never met her yet. It was like 11:30 at night. I lived up in Plymouth, Pennsylvania, Northeast PA. She lived all the way in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is southeastern Pennsylvania, or southeastern PA. Near Allentown, all that shit. She was... What is it? An hour on the turnpike, or an hour and a half on the back roads, or something like that. Or it's something between 1 to 2 hours to get there, depending on which way you go. I think I took the back way. I don't think I took the turnpike. But I was like, fuck you want me to come down? Yeah, sure, why not? So I got ready, I went down. I think I got there at like 1 o'clock. 1:30. I come up the street, there she is, sitting on the porch. Or sitting out on the front stoop. And we pretty much hit it off immediately. That's why we actually had sex many times that night. First time meeting. I mean, she's my wife now, so I don't care about saying shit like that. And I told her I'd be talking about it on here too. And then we were together a week. And she basically moved in with me. Because I was down there many times. And then she came up and stayed at my house for a couple of days. But she wasn't working at the time. She was looking for work. And I forget, we were driving, I think, either to Bethlehem or I think we were driving down there for something. Come on. Excuse me. And she had an application in at the one store down there. Leave my soda would you lay the fuck down? Leave me the fuck alone. Kids and cats won't ever leave me alone. If I shut the door, they're just gonna scratch the door. All you do is lay around all day. Why can't you lay around right now? So we were talking and basically decided that, well, if the job she applied for down in Bethlehem didn't call her, she'd just move in with me. So that's what happened. And then my mom was getting worse. Luckily, she moved in. She was bathing her. She was helping her go to the bathroom, which is what I told her she better be able to do on her own. But now I had somebody, my wife was helping. She wasn't my wife yet. So it was like it was all good. We're together a week or two. Damn it, I forget what day it was we first met when I first went down there. June 3rd week of June. I think. I don't know. Yeah, well, like I said, my fucking brain is so overloaded with so many problems and so much bullshit. The little things I lose track of. Sit down or get out. But at the time I had my 1996 Suzuki GSX-R 1100. This is before I noticed it was consuming a quart of oil in 100 miles. Don't ask me how, I never found out. But we're on that, and we go over to the top of Bosco's parking lot. It's a kind of store do you call that? I think they got everything. Furniture, clothes, toys, electronics. I mean, I forget what the fuck that's called. Unimportant detail. It's just a fucking big store. So we're on top of the parking garage up there on the 4th of July watching the fireworks on the back of my motorcycle. After there, we left, we rode around. I always loved the 4th of July. Always loved it. Just the most romantic holiday of the year. Nothing more romantic than making the right scenery to watch. What's more romantic than fireworks? I don't know. I've always loved the 4th of July for some reason. In that sense. As a kid, I just liked the fireworks. So then, fireworks, motorcycle, we go home. Bow chicka wow wow. She didn't get off in time. Of course, I didn't say anything. She was on time. We were having such a good time. She didn't get off in time. Because I didn't tell her it was time. Did you go yet? Yeah, too late. Oh, well. Chills. So July 4th, 2013, little Joey was conceived after we were only together for a couple of weeks. Yeah, she took a test. Yeah, she missed her period for, I think, 2 months, and she took a test, and I was skeptic. Took another test. We actually still got him. I still got him. Took another test, came positive. And then we did the ultrasound, stuff like that. You know, you're happy. Everybody was happy. Ow. My butt. My mom still didn't comprehend the situation. Like I said, her marbles weren't all there, which sucks. My sister, she's still nursing home. She was just so happy. So all she wanted to do was see my son, or her nephew, born. That's all she wanted to do. So, and then I think it was my birthday, December 1st. I think that's the day where we finally seen that it was a boy. I wanted a boy first, and that was it. Well, not it, but you know, then I wouldn't worry. Next, I wanted a girl, but ow. So yeah, I think we did 2 ultrasounds for that, but he kept showing his ass or hiding his junk. Yeah, he kept hiding his junk. Sort of like me. They didn't know what I was until I was born. I kept showing my ass. I'm just waiting for that thing to go beep, 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 right in the middle of talking. Because my phone's dead, and I don't, the charger, the thing you plugged your bottom of the phone, the inside, that thing broke, so I can't charge it now. It's been shut off for fucking months anyway. But, yeah, my birthday, 2013, found out it was a boy, Joey Jr. And so with that, the GSXR 1196, you know, that oil problem, and I was just like, you know, I never went into the inside of a bottom of a motor. I couldn't find a leak or signs that it was getting blow, you know, if the rings were bad or what. I said, you know what, we're running out of money. So I was like, screw it, I'll just part the bike out, because it had more parts, more brand new expensive parts on it than anything. I mean, you had a brand new freaking, what the hell was it, like a brand new $1,500 Scorpion exhaust, or no, Cobra. I think it was a Cobra. Cobra or Scorpion. Full racing exhaust. I think it was like somewhere between $1,300 and $1,600. Brand spanking new. And FCR 49 carbs. It had racing carburetors on it. Those themselves, they were worth freaking at least $600. So I was just, you know, parting it out. I dismantled the whole bike, and I ended up selling the carbs, I think, for like $500 or $600. I sold the engine for like $700. You know, piece here, a piece there, $100, $200. I was getting more for parts than I was for the whole bike. Then came the exhaust. Thank God I never found that fucking piece of shit. I was so mad for so fucking long. I would have done something stupid. I even said, if I see him riding and I see my exhaust, I'm gonna fucking literally hit him with the car on the motorcycle. I was that fucking mad for months. My own fault. I put the fucking part on Craigslist. And like an idiot, I let him meet up and look at the part at my house. That was the first time I was selling on Craigslist like that. I didn't freaking know. Honestly, I think that was the first thing I put on first thing I ever put on Craigslist. Everything else was selling on eBay. So he comes and, I was telling him everything that was going on, the state of the house. I got a son on the way. I'm almost out of money. I mean, things were getting tight because we were still putting everything into the house, cleaning it up, fixing it up. So I told him, hey, kid on the way, I need the money. So he's like, okay. So he left. He was just there checking out, wasn't buying it yet. I think it was like a day or two later. A couple days later. I remember I was down in the kitchen. It was nighttime. And not sure if the floodlight outside was on or not. And I think when he left, I think he stopped. See, I lived in the back of a back road. Like in the back of a house, like you got the road, a house, and then in the back was my house, and it was a side street and a side dirt road to get back there. It was black as shit. Dark as hell back there. And I remember, I think he stopped on his way out, probably seen where I put it. Because he seen me get it from the garage. Then when he left, I went and actually put it in the trunk of my car. So I'm downstairs in the kitchen bullshitting. He's lucky I was in the kitchen. If I was upstairs, I would have heard it. And a couple hours go by, I go outside to go run up to the store. I notice small window behind the passenger is broken, and my driver's side window was broken. What the hell is this? It took me a few minutes to realize what was stolen. He basically broke the rear window to make sure there was no alarm. Then he broke my driver's side window to press the button and pop the trunk. He popped the trunk, stole the exhaust. I hope that fucker wrecked and died on his motorcycle. I really do. I was honest and sincere with him about the financial situation, a kid on the way, my mother in the house with Huntington's disease, and trying to, fix up the house and clean it up for my son that was on the way. I mean, it was adequate enough the way it was, but I mean, it still needed improvement though. And then you come days later and still the fucker. I mean, that was at least another $500 or $600. I hope that fucker suffered and died. Or just suffered and keeps suffering. You do not do bad things or evil things or anything to good people. You just don't. I mean, you want to do evil things? Go do it to evil people. They deserve it. But fuck your toilet. Ooh. I sold a few odd and end parts after that. I had the titled frame and the body, most of the body parts and shit like that for quite a few more years. But so then, yeah, so my sister, she was getting better. She was talking better. I mean, she was having trouble talking at first for quite a while. It seemed like she got pretty much right back to normal. And then out of nowhere, she hit the top of the mountain, and instead of going down, she went straight down. She was just getting worse and worse and worse. And then, yeah, my wife was like, no, she was 9 months pregnant. Yeah, because Joey came, I think, 2 weeks late. Yeah, Joey was like 2 weeks late. 2 or 3, somewhere between 2 weeks and 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. So then, one day out of nowhere, I mean, we were so busy we didn't visit her in like a week. No, yeah, and then, well, she didn't come. They were coming around normally. Her and my dad, and they weren't for a little while. We were so busy at home and everything, and the baby on the way, and so then we just all decided to go visit. We get there, and she looked like she was on death's bed. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna end this as I'm done here, because I'm just waiting for that to beep and go off. But I don't know if we had the induction for my son schedule. I think it was scheduled already, but we went down to visit her. It was the last week of March. Yeah, it's like somewhere in the late 20s. I think it was, or was it? It was here sometime in the third week of March, something like that. Like the third or fourth. We went down to visit, and she couldn't sit up. She could hardly talk. She just kept saying she wanted to go to the hospital. I mean, she was so frail. I mean, you just didn't want to touch her really, because you're afraid you'd break her. I mean, she had, like, a month before, she was perfectly fine. But she seemed healthy and back to normal, and then all of a sudden, boom, shit hit the fan. So she kept asking to go to the hospital. Now they're lucky I did not go down there and burn their frickin' place to the ground. I didn't know what that word, I didn't know what those two words meant until after. My dad yells up to the nurse, she went to go to hospital. They said she's on hospice care, which is basically saying she's on death's bed. That's all she did. That's all she said. She yelled down the hall saying she's on hospice care. They never called my dad, told him that. They never fucking called me and told me that. It's like, yeah, basically my sister's dying and they're not going to tell the family. That I might blame my niece too, because she was a nurse there. She is a nurse there. Or was at the time. What kind of fucking company pieces of shit pull that? Hey, your innocent freaking sister, the mind of a child, is dying, and we're not going to call and tell you that she's in hospice care, and this is what hospice care is. So me and my wife, my dad are there. My wife's freaking blowing up like a balloon, and that's all of my sister said the whole time she was down there and everything after we announced the baby. that she just wanted to see him born. I tell you, anybody who ever lost anybody, it hurts every fucking day. Every fucking day. There isn't a single day that goes by I don't think about her. But we were there about 2 hours. And yeah, I'm tearing up for a camera. I always make fun of people that do that. I think they're acting. Well, most people are. But I just gotta swallow it. That hurts the most because all she wanted to do was see Joey born. All she wanted to do. I know she's seen him. I'll get to that eventually if this stops. But we were there about 2 hours. We left I think at like 5 o'clock, and then they took her to the hospital. That's why we left. I think my dad followed, and me and Amber went home. And it was shortly after 6 o'clock on the way to the hospital where she passed away. Basically, her liver gave out from all the chemo and the cancer and everything. I just remember my dad pulling up and just saying, "We lost her." I've never cried so much for so long. It just sucks because I always told my mom I was thinking about this too, because I always told my mom, my dad, don't worry if anything happens. She couldn't take care of herself. You know, she couldn't live on her own or anything. She never drove a car, nothing like that. But I always told, don't worry. Anything happens to you, I will take care of her, no matter what. No matter what, I would take care of my sister. So she passed away a week or two. I think it was 2 weeks before Joey was born. Two weeks before. All she wanted to do was see him. You know, she didn't have any insurance or anything, so we got her an urn, had her cremated, and she's downstairs. Some people find that creepy, but it's my sister. There's nothing creepy about it. My dad wants her buried and everything before he passes. He's already in his earlier mid-70s. Shit, he just wants it taken care of. I'm not really worried about it because I like having her here. She wanted to see my kid, and she wanted to see Joey so bad. So now she's staying with family. Fuck you, toilet. Is that still on? Yeah. So, April 8th, here comes Joey. You know, I should have been in tears of joy, doing freaking cartwheels, flips, gymnastic shit all the way down the hallway when he was born. I was happy, but I wasn't crazy happy because I was so broken inside from, my mom, the house, and having to give the dogs up too. With no, after she passed. Right after she passed, I gave the dogs to a non-kill shelter, and they got homed. But it's just like everything that was my family that was before basically got destroyed right before I got my new family. And it just hurts so much because my mom and my sister, they're always so crazy. They're always so crazy about my brother's kids. But he never really, he was already out in Pittsburgh and never brought him around or anything else. So it's like they never really got to be grandparents. Like, yeah, with her firstborn she was, but it's just my mom didn't really comprehend my kids. Joey was born and Angela was gone before. Like some people say, well, she got into a better place. No. Bullshit. She's in heaven, I know that. Is she happier? No. That's all she wanted to do was see Joey. But having her here and healthy with my now 3 kids. No. I'm a Christian, I don't care. I will disagree. I'll disagree with heaven. I don't think she would have been, I don't think she'll ever be any happier than if she was here with this family, with these kids. But she met Joey. I know that for sure. She helped out. Because it was in the summertime, I think it was in June. Joey's like 2-3 months old. I think he was only 2. He couldn't roll over. He was still an infant. And we had to avoid SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, or whatever the hell you want to call it, or syndrome, or what the hell that S is there. But to avoid that, we take his baby blanket and we tucked it all the way tightly, really tight, all the way under his crib mattress. So literally, there's no way he'd suffocate. One night I forgot about his air conditioner in the window. Only time I ever made a mistake like that. Just an honest mistake, but I never made it again. Nothing like that ever. And so I come in the morning, and I open the door. It was cold in there. Where was Joey? Well, obviously you put him to bed on his back, I think. Yeah, you're supposed to on the back. I come in the morning, he's tucked under the blankets, like you tuck a normal kid in, up to like the shoulders, or yeah, it was up to like right here, right in the shoulder. He was already tucked in, laying face down like this, like the bed's here, laying face down in the bed, sleeping like this, tucked under the blanket, and the blanket was still tightly tucked under the mattress. There's no way a 2 or 3 month old who can't even roll over, crawl and tuck himself under that blanket. No way. It was impossible for him to do it on his own. My wife didn't do it. My mom didn't do it. There's that spider. Got you too, prick. Sorry, buddy. I don't see you. I don't know you're there. I see you. You're gonna... Ow! Die, Charlie horse! But I'm convinced it was my sister. I mean, all she wanted to do was see him. I mean, I don't care who finds that stupid. Statistically speaking, there's no way he could have done it. There is no way he could have done that. I mean, would he have died? No. I mean, it did get really cold in there. Yeah, there ain't no way I'm covering all the way up to the current events on this video. That's only the beginning of the hell. Only the beginning. But everything is quiet. I'm going to stop here before that just suddenly shuts off right in the middle of a sentence like it's been. Like I said, I don't have my fucking phone to check the time. So I'm going to end it here, and I will continue this. Let's see, I'm off Thursday. Alright, damn it. I'm off Thursday and Saturday. So I'll probably continue this on, if there's no more drama, I'll probably continue this Friday evening when my wife goes to work and the kids get to bed. And of course it's going to be up here again because, well, I'll get to that. Trust me, I'll really get to that. Well, eventually, but I got good reason to be up here, like I said. This is the only room in the house where I know for certain nobody else in the building other than my kids can hear me. So, like I said, if you guys are liking the videos, like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Like I said, I'm doing this just for my family. I mean, you got to be original on. I mean, you got to try to be original on YouTube to freaking, get the views and subscribers and the ad revenue. The ad revenue is what I'm basically started this for. I mean, I'm having a blast doing this, or not really the games, because I need people to play with. It's like some of the games I play. It's always like I'll watch Omrecker and H2O Delirious and shit. And they play with their buddies and like private games and shit like that, like a Dead by Daylight. And they just have so much fun together. It's just so much fun when you're playing with friends. Ow, I still got that freaking piece of glass in my freaking foot. But I don't really have any gaming friends anymore. Ow! That's why I haven't really been enjoying the gaming. I mean, I don't enjoy playing the games, but just like if I had like a bunch of people to play like they do, I mean, they look like they have a blast. And of course, I have millions of subscribers. Like Delirious is fucking what, almost 10 million now, 9 million some. So it's like making friends with them and playing games with them is like next to impossible. So some other people probably want to play games too. Me, I just want to get in on their fun because they look like they have a blast. I haven't met enough people to do that yet, though. So it's like, you know, motorcycle videos and this, I'm enjoying. The games, it's like I said, I need more, you know, more people to play with and have a better time. It's always more entertaining, a lot more fun watching like a group of friends or just people that get along with each other playing together in a private match or shit like that. I mean, I just want to have that kind of fun. But yeah, like I said in the last two videos that almost nobody watched. I mean, if you like it, leave a comment, like it, subscribe. And if you didn't like it, leave a comment.